Welcome to the Make and Design podcast. I'm your host, Carina Gardner, and today I want to talk about what I would do, what advice I would give my younger designer self. Do you ever wish you could go back and kind of shake your younger self and be like, oh my gosh, just do this. It is going to work out so good. If you would just do this. That's what today's episode's about. And I think that if you are a brand new designer, that some of this advice will help you as you are navigating this wonderful sea that is, creation, maker, and becoming a designer. I love being a designer, and I think I liked it from the moment I started doing it because it made sense to me, but I never thought I was good enough to be a designer, which is ironic because I've had a career in it for 20 plus years. And so this is some of the advice I would give my younger self, and hopefully it helps you as well. Okay, so the first one is I would tell myself to just start before you're even ready to do anything. And, I'm relatively good at this, but I think that especially in the early digital scrapbooking days when I was trying to navigate that field and figure it out, I would just tell myself like, oh, you hate bulletin boards or you hate Facebook or you hate whatever. Just do it. Just do it and see if it works and see if it helps market your business. I think I just didn't realize how much marketing was going to be involved. As a designer, I was really excited about being a designer. I like designing stuff, right? I like making stuff. I like making the products. And I should have dedicated more time and more of my thought process into the actual marketing. And I wish I had done that a little bit better. I wish that I learned to do things even faster. I think I realized this as I was doing all the work I was doing. I had finished my Ph.D. at the University of Minnesota, and I was doing a ton of freelance work, and I was relatively fast in the programs. I wish I had taught myself to be even faster, even sooner. I would have just rocked out much better if I had just started designing in a way that forced me to learn things I didn't want to learn. And there are all kinds of tools, you guys, still in Illustrator and Photoshop that I don't know how to use because I was just like, I'm bypassing that. I know what I know, and I just go forward. And I wish I had spent a little bit more time understanding and learning extra things so that I could be really, really good in the programs. I can tell you this now as someone who's pretty darn fast in the programs. The faster I am, the more money I make because I'm able to create and pump out more products than anybody else. That becomes a little bit of a volume game as I'm doing things because I can just make things so incredibly quickly. So I would say, really let those software skills compound even more. I'm going to say this, you guys, and like people, if you're in Design Suite or the university, you know how I feel about trends in general. But I would really tell myself to not worry about designing for trends and to spend all of my time designing for people. Now, what does that mean? I think it's not just designing for trends, but a lot of us are designing for ourselves versus designing for people. What do I mean by that? I think we make just what we like versus what we think will actually be marketable and people will buy. We make what we see on trend, not what people actually will buy. And I find that if I just make stuff that I'm kind of like, oh, that would really be awesome. I really need a new recipe book. Like that setup would be incredible. And then I offer it as a template. It does really well because it makes sense. People are going to use it and it makes a lot of sense. Okay. So design for people. That's the bottom line. Don't design for trends. Don't design just for yourself. You are a person, so you're going to have some ideas about things that people want that maybe you can also use. And I love to double dip in that way. But like when you're just making for the sake of making because it's just feeling fulfilling to you, that doesn't always equate to products that actually work. So be careful about that. I think this one's a hard one, and I just did an episode about this because I was thinking about my freelance work, but I wish I had spent more time thinking about charging more. Like I just kind of was like so happy to get the job that I just was like, whatever, I just got the job. It's great. I wish I had really kind of looked at my pricing and figured out how to make people pay more for my work because I was doing excellent work and I just didn't realize it. So, especially in the freelance world, I wish I had just kind of dug into that a little bit more. Okay. This one's gonna be hard for some of you guys to hear, but like, not every project deserves your very best work. There are some things that deserve my best work. Fabric, I spend a lot more time on because I know those are the 18 rolls that are coming out for me that year, and that's it. So it deserves a lot more time and effort. There are some things like 99-cent SVGs that don't deserve quite as much of my time. And because of that, I just want you to be really thoughtful about the way you spend your time, the way you kind of build your products, because perfectionism really rises up. And sometimes I'm like, but why is it rising up in that way and for that product? So not every project really actually deserves your very best work. Do I try to do good work all the time? Yes, I do. So if you don't have a good design background, then this might not apply to you. But those of you who have design degrees, you've been in the design field for a while, that is a real thing. Like, not every single thing needs your like very, very best stuff. Okay. The next one is that your first idea is rarely the best one. And we know this for a fact. If you come to a design boot camp, I talk about this. If you are in our Design on Fire or Design Foundations course at the University of Arts and Design, we talk about this, and you do some exercises of it. We have like actual exercises to show you, and you will see it in yourself, how your first idea is very rarely your best idea, and it's very rarely your best design work. It just isn't, okay? It takes a little while before you create your really best work, okay? And then I would say the last two that I really wish I could tell myself is to protect my creativity from burnout. Like, design, it needs fuel, it needs rest, inspiration. And I would work through the weekends. I still kind of do some of this, but I try to give myself some space. I'd work myself through the weekends to a point where I was like, this is not serving me. Like, I need some rest. And the final thing is that it is more important to build relationships, not just the portfolio. And this I see more than anything. We see it in Design Suite. I think part of the reason some people just purchase and come and enroll in Design Suite is for the network, because those relationships will take you further than just doing it on your own. And we see that all the time, that network actually is the most important thing, because you could hear one little thing from one random friend who's like, hey, you should go do this, and it could make you thousands of dollars. This has happened to me so many times. It makes such a difference. It's made a huge difference in my career. The one thing someone said out of the blue that changed everything for me. And it all came from relationships. It did not come from great marketing. It came from the network. And oftentimes the things said behind the scenes are the things that people have no idea. Like I always say, all the good stuff gets passed around behind the scenes because it's true. You hear the real numbers, really what you should do, what platforms, why, how much money you're going to make. Those things really matter. 85% of designers say they felt imposter syndrome at some point in their career. And that's from the Adobe Creative Confidence Report in 2023. I am telling you that if you can kind of change, you're new. You're new. Everything's new and exciting and wonderful. And if it's new and exciting and wonderful, like, take that and really do something with it, right? But I wish I did some of these things better. I wish I had built some better relationships. I wish I had, really moved on from first ideas. I wish I'd really, compounded all that software skill a little bit better. I really wish I had thought more about people versus trends. People versus trends. I think that there is a lot of us that are just building for the sake of building. Build because you enjoy it. Build because people are really using it. That will change the way you design and make a huge, huge difference. I love you, and I want to make sure that you're moving forward. And these are things that I wish someone had just sat down, younger Carina, and said, hey, Carina, if you did this, this could be everything. And I've seen these things work really amazing miracles in my life as a designer, as a design career. I've had I have a really fantastic design career, and I feel really grateful for it. I hope you learn from me on that, because you have so much potential. It's crazy how much potential you have. You just have to keep going, and you do need to figure out ways to build that network, get faster, concentrate on artwork that actually people want to buy. Want to hang out more? Go to designsuitecourses.com/free to get our weekly freebies and patterns, die cut files, and more. Can't wait to see you there.